When the show was had been announced, there was a Vanity Fair cover that came out with all the late night hosts, notably leaving off you and Chelsea Handler. Can you talk about your reaction to that?
Well, I want to get it exactly right because because Alana and I were talking a lot about the show, and she noticed it. I saw it in my Twitter feed. She noticed it in her Twitter feed. And she was like, "You are not in this picture," and I was like, "I am not in this picture." Like I realized that my show has not launched yet, but Trevor was in the picture,
right? And
he had not launched yet. I was at a pumpkin patch on Long Island. We took our kids to a pumpkin patch, and they were playing on the pirate ships. It was like this wooden play structure of pirate ships, and I was like so mad, and my heart started beating. And she was like, "You should put yourself in the picture," and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna put myself in the picture." And then but I didn't know how to put myself in the picture because I don't really understand how to put things in things. Miles Kahn, who runs the field department, he and I had been talking about the show a lot, and he had mocked up me as a centaur with laser beams coming out of my eyes for this other idea that we had about going to Stone Mountain in Georgia. Have you been to Stone Mountain?
Never.
Okay. Well, there's a park at Stone Mountain. It's a beautiful park. There's a fake mountain. Maybe it's real. I'm trying to picture it. But it has heroes of the Confederacy are carved into the side of this mountain, and people picnic and vacation there. And I was like, wouldn't it be fun to like go to Stone Mountain and like laser all the Confederate heroes off the side of the mountain, or like laser myself into the mountain to be like, where are these guys, these dicks? So we had that picture, and I was like, hey Miles, can you just Photoshop that into this? And it really became the calling card of, it really, Elena's idea was amazing. Miles's execution was great. And then it just became like the calling card of the show.
Yeah.
Or it built, and then we made a promo for the show that was really funny too. Like we definitely planted some seeds along the way. That really was just a moment in time, and we could see from that moment.
Yeah. At the same time you were left off of that, there was like all this media buzz, I recall, about you being the first female host of late night, which was not true, but being the first female late night satire, I guess, host.
Sure. It's a history-making show. Just have to be very specific.
I mean, we can't forget Joan Rivers, but did any of that pressure you, or did it impact your plans for the show at all? No. I tried to block that out for the most part. Listen, I stopped having my period for a long time. So yes, there was an immense amount of pressure, for sure. But not because of that, or maybe because of that, it just like, it didn't, I tried really hard to be able to function as a human being. I still have 3 kids. Like, I still have a life that I had to continue living. So when the pressure became unbearable, I guess it just went to my ovaries. Which really, the body is an amazing shock absorber. It truly is. Like, I go, thank you, body, for just absorbing that pressure and doing something else with it, doing something magical with it, because I definitely was under a lot of pressure, but felt pretty clear, felt pretty clear-minded, felt very reasonably calm going into it. I tried very hard to bifurcate my brain. I remember one day things were kind of getting to me, like things were heaping up, and I was like, oh, it feels like this is unbearable. And I was like, Jason, how do you, I remember talking to Jason and being like, okay, they literally asked him the question, how do you be a man? How do you be a man? Because I was like, I know that there is a way that you cut your brain off from this stuff and you don't stress about work things. You can live your life and you just don't worry about how you're going to be seen in the world, or there's like some way that you compartmentalize your brain and it's really effective. So just tell me how to do that, because I'm suffering. And he was like, oh, you just do it. It's like when a negative thought comes into your brain, when a worry about how your show is going to be received comes into your brain, you just, if you have to like even picture, you just push it out of your brain. Stand in the shower and just go like, I'm not going to think about that right now. I'm going to think about that in the future. And you literally just go, ugh. And I did that. I was like, thank you. That's a good tip. And there were times where I would go, like almost physically, and just go, no, not today. I'll think about that in 2 years.